When Sally took her last breath at 1:50 in the morning, few people knew the truth about how hard her final years had become. She was not just any actress. Sally Kirkland was an Oscar-nominated star who once stood beside legends like Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. But in her final months, she was not living a life of fame and luxury. She was in a small hospice room in Palm Springs, depending on friends and strangers to help pay her medical bills. Sally's story is not only about one woman, it shows something much deeper: how Hollywood forgets the very people who built it. Sally was 84 when she passed away. Her career had been filled with awards, applause, and movie sets. But behind all that success, she was fighting pain that most people never saw. Over the last year, she broke several bones, her neck, wrist, and hip, and got serious infections that left her weak and needing constant care. She also struggled with dementia, which slowly took away her sharp memory and spirit. A few weeks before she died, she fell in the shower and hurt her ribs and foot badly. After that, everything got worse. Her friends started a GoFundMe page online, hoping to raise enough money to cover her hospital and care costs. That page told the world something shocking. Sally, who had once been worth millions, was now almost out of money. She had less than $50,000 left, not enough for the care she needed. How could someone who starred in so many movies and television shows end up like this? Part of the reason was a painful change in the acting world. In the year 2021, the Actors Union, known as the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, cut some of the health insurance support for older actors. Many veterans over 65 suddenly lost their coverage, including Sally. After that, she had to pay for her treatments on her own. The timing could not have been worse. Sally was not someone who wasted her money or lived a wild life. Friends said she was kind, spiritual, and always thinking about others. But kindness does not pay hospital bills. And in her last months, she learned that even fame does not guarantee safety. Sally's life started in New York City on October 31, 1941. Her mother was a fashion editor at Vogue, and her father was a wealthy clothing manufacturer. She trained hard to become an actress, studying under the famous Lee Strasberg, the same teacher who guided legends like Al Pacino. In her 20s, she became known in New York's art world. Andy Warhol even called her one of his most beautiful muses. She was not afraid to take risks and became the first actress to appear fully nude on stage in 1968. Not for fame, but to make a statement about art and freedom. She always wanted to challenge people and push limits. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Sally worked nonstop. She appeared in classics like The Sting, A Star is Born, and Private Benjamin. Television viewers saw her in Hawaii Five-0, Charlie's Angels, and Three's Company. But her biggest moment came in 1987 with a movie called Anna. In it, she played a struggling actress trying to rebuild her life, a role that felt very close to her own story. Critics loved her performance. She won a Golden Globe and was nominated for an Academy Award. But here is what made that moment even more amazing. She promoted the movie herself. Sally did not have a big studio behind her. She wrote letters to film critics, called friends, and even asked Andy Warhol to talk about her film on his show. She worked harder than anyone else to make sure people noticed her movie. When Oscar night came, Sally said she felt like Cinderella stepping out of the limo, surrounded by Hollywood's biggest stars. It was one of the happiest moments of her life. But after the awards faded, the work offers slowed down. Hollywood often forgets women once they get older, and Sally was not given the big roles she deserved. Still, she never stopped acting. Even in her 80s, she starred in a small 2024 film called Sallywood, where she played herself. It showed she could laugh at her life and still shine. But behind the camera, things were hard. She lived alone. She had no children or husband to take care of her. Her friends became her family. They helped her when she was sick, visiting her, praying with her, and raising money when she could not afford her treatments. Sally had always cared deeply for others. She volunteered for AIDS and cancer patients, helped feed the homeless, and supported prisoners through charity work. She gave her time, her heart, and her money to others. But when she needed help, the system failed her. After her last fall, infections spread in her body. Her dementia got worse, and she was moved into hospice care in Palm Springs. Her godson, Cody Galloway Bailey, and a few close friends stayed by her side until the very end. She passed away quietly, surrounded not by movie stars or flashing cameras, but by the people who truly loved her. Sally Kirkland's story is more than just a sad ending. It is a message to Hollywood and to all of us about how we treat people who have given their lives to their art. If someone who earned awards, fame, and respect can end up with nothing, what happens to those who never got their big break? She deserved more than pain and bills in her last year. She deserved comfort and respect. Sally's courage, kindness, and creativity touched millions. And while her final chapter was heartbreaking, her story should remind us all to take care of those who gave us beauty, stories, and dreams. Sally Kirkland's life may have ended, but her spirit, brave, honest, and full of love, will never be forgotten.